challenge. And today, it's not about you being cheap. It's about you being saving some money that some things are costing you money. Today's challenge is not becoming cheap. It's to becoming financially smart because you'll be thinking that, oh, you know what, there's the $10 here, $50 here, $100 here. And you'll be wondering what's it might not be a little money. Why pay $200 for something that you can pay dollars? Reduce that bill, right? And of course, we also talk about any questions you might have around investing, around real estate, ETF, businesses, wealth building, debt payoff, savings, beginner questions. It could also be about finances with your spouses and all of that. And that's what we're doing today. And welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology. And it's so good to have you. Let me know where you're connecting from. Today, you have the opportunity to ask any question. However, we also have the 21 days of money research challenge, media money research challenge going on. And today, it's about you reducing the cost of that bill that you're paying. Because guess what? Your paycheck is reducing every day. And guess what? You're wondering. It's not from your employer. It's not really the paycheck. It's about the bills going up, right? It's that bills that is going up, and that is reducing your disposable income. That's what it's doing. So what are you going to be doing differently about that? And that's why the challenge of today is negotiate one bill. So why are you paying $200 for something that is worth 150? Why are you paying 500 for something that is just supposed to be $300? That insurance, right? Yes, because you can repurpose the $200 extra, $50 here towards investing. Because we keep saying that I cannot mass out my Roth IRA. I cannot invest because I don't have money. But the money that you are looking for to invest is right there in the excess bills that you're paying, in that subscription that you're not using, right? In that negotiation that you should have actually done, or even change, change from one provider to the other, and then you see the difference. And today also it's about question and answer. If you have any specific question that you have about investing, real estate, ETF, businesses, wealth building, debt payoff, savings, right? Maybe you like to put your money in the bank and all of that. Should I put my money in the bank or should I invest it? Should I do 401k? Should I do Roth IRA? What are the percentages? All of those questions are the things that you can ask freely today. So welcome everyone. And for everyone that just joined, how are these? I love my dog. Oh, perfect. Welcome. Let me know where you're coming from as well. Official Kelly, welcome in. EZ, welcome in. Let's tap out the live. As you're coming in, make sure you click on the follow button if you haven't, and make sure you click on the subscribe button, and on the TikTok side, make sure you're tapping out the live, getting your daily at me while we get it all started. And today is your opportunity to ask any question. I am fine. How are you? Let me know where you're connecting from. Let me know where you're connecting from. Please drop where you're connecting from. Official Khalif, Cuties, let me know where you're connecting from. Awesome. And today we are on day 12 of the media money reset. Every single day for the past 12 days, it's one step to get you closer to financial freedom. If your goal is to get financial freedom, then you are in the right place. Then it's also an opportunity for you to ask any question that you may have when it relates to investing and all of that. But today it's about how do you reduce that bill. Rosalind, don't be nice, right. Life is so beautiful, right. Life is so beautiful. Let me know where you're connecting from. TikToker, welcome in. Delighted, welcome in. Neris, welcome in, right. Welcome in. And everyone, welcome in. Let's keep tapping out the live. Share out the live. Invite your friends over and we'll get it started. And it's about investing. Let me know where you're connecting from. Let me know where you're connecting from. If you have any questions about investing, about real estate, about businesses, wealth building, debt payoff, savings, anything about beginner investing, put it in the comments, or you can invite yourself up. Deshaun, why what? I got very interesting side of group today. Respect 35, welcome in. Patricia, welcome in. How are you all doing today? Welcome. And it's Friday, guys. It's Friday. Let's tap out the live. Thank you all for tapping out the live, sharing out the live, inviting your friends over. Also, make sure you click on the follow buttons while we get it started. Happy Friday. And are we all excited? It's June June 19th, right? Is it Juneteenth, right? It's an holiday, right? Some people, did you get a day off work? Put in the comments. Some people got a day off. Some people did not. Some people got a day off. Some people did not get a day off. If you got, put it in the comment. It's a day off for some people. It's not, right? Some organizations. Rosalind, come on, come on. All right, all right. So perfect, perfect. So let's get it started. So ask all your questions. I love my dogs, the Sean. Welcome in, and everyone that is here. Welcome, welcome in. Let me know where you're connecting from. I am welcome in. And it's your opportunity to ask any question you might have. And at the same time, is day. We are on day, what's it called? We are on day 12 of the day 12 of the media money reset. Tyneras, welcome in. How are you? T Lane, welcome in. Tracy Flowers, Raccoon, welcome in. Let me know where you're connecting from. I am in Texas, in United States. And let's tap out the live. Let's give Dr. A, welcome in. Let's tap out the live. Tap out the live. How are you? Welcome, welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, welcome in. And we'll get it started. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's tap out the live. Let's share out the live. You like Jamaican beef? That's good. And Wade, thank you so much for subscribing on the YouTube side. Thank you for doing that. We'll get started. And you can start asking your question. Let's tap out the live. Thank you all for tapping out the live. So good to have each and every one of us, the Vent Royal and Ray. We get to 10,000 taps and we get it started, or get it to 1,000 taps, we get it started, because it's a lot of questions today. If you have any questions on investing, real estate, ETF, you don't even know what ETF is all about, businesses, right? Wealth building, debt pay off, savings, any of those, if you have any question regarding that, ask me. It's an opportunity. And if you are just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm not a doctor of medicine. I'm a doctor of business and technology. I'm an economics and a chartered accountant. And at the same time, I'm a vice president of technology, because I pivoted from finance to technology and rose to the position of a vice president of technology, and also a professor teaching AI, cybersecurity, and deep learning. So basically what I've done is taking, because I did all of this, earned all of this, but did not gain financial freedom until I started doing something different. So if your goal is to gain financial freedom, if your goal is to, become work optional, work because you want to work, not because you have to pay bills, then you are in the right place. So let's tap out the live. Thank you all for tapping out the live and inviting your friends over. Share out your live. This is on TikTok side. Press my forehead, on the screen, and you see your contact, and then invite them over. Invite them over. So welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome everyone. And let's keep tapping out the live. Thank you all for tapping out the live. Awesome, awesome. So, thank you so much, Vero. You're doing that, and everyone tapping out the live. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. Welcome in. All right. And today we are also having, aside from the fact that you can ask any question, but really today is day 12 of the media money reset. Media money reset. What does this mean? It simply means that we, every single day, we have done things about net worth. We've done things about how to pay off your debt. We've talked about things about, how to increase your income. Those are things that we have talked about. So if you want to build wealth, a lot of times people always, and I was talking about this with someone today. A lot of time people would always think that, it's their income that builds wealth. Income is just a tool. It can help you build wealth depending on what you use your income for. All right, let me repeat it again. Income can build you wealth depending on how you use it. Your income, so it means that you can build wealth with your income or not build wealth. How do you build wealth with your income? How you build wealth with your income is this. You take your income. It's like, instead of we were taught in school is what? Go to school, get a job. Hey, Sir King just joined the $1 Million League, clicking on that follow button. And if you're wondering, right, this community is they call it the $1 Million League, right? People that want to gain financial freedom in 10 years or less. Financial freedom means you becoming work optional. Work because you want to work, not because you want to pay bills, right? You have the passion for the job. That's why you're doing the job, not because you have to pay bills, because they're two different things. And I tell you, when you gain financial freedom, is a different kind of world. Thank you all for tapping out the live, sharing out the live, inviting your friends over as well. So what we were taught in school is what? Go to school. How many of us have heard this? Put one if you have heard this. Go to school, get a job, and of course, right? Go to school, get a job, and of course, enjoy life, fun lifestyle. Work till 65, and then become the part that they never had added to it is that work to 65, and of course, at that time, you're almost useless to yourself because there are a lot of things that you cannot do because you have literally traded your prime. Age 20 to 65, you've traded that time for money, and guess what? You're almost not, when it's not time, at the time when you are released, it's almost like, okay, you know what? Well, I'm here now. What am I doing with my life, right? So, but then a different life exists, which is you taking your income, and that life that they told us is an high, right? Go to school, get a job is an high, meaning school, fund lifestyle, school, fund lifestyle. So what that means is that income, fund lifestyle. What that means is that you will keep working, right? You will continue to work to fund this lifestyle. And the day this income doesn't exist, or you are unable to have this income, do the job anymore, you cannot fund the lifestyle. All right. So what then is now a different way, or the best strategy for you to use? The best strategy for you to use is take your income, fund lifestyle, use some of it towards something called appreciating cash flowing asset. In my right hand, yes, in my right hand, welcome. Thank you for clicking the follow button, and congratulations to you right there. So it's called a triangle. So you take that your income, you fund, thank you so much for the gift. Take that your income, fund the lifestyle. This side is called depreciating lifestyle liability. Depreciating lifestyle liability, because it takes money from you, right? That car, it reduces in value. That shoe that you buy reduces in value. You cannot, if you buy a shoe and you wear it today, you cannot sell it at the same price again, right? It doesn't put money in your pocket. So this is that side of the triangle. Now, but this is what we were taught in school, just this triangle. The other missing part of the triangle that's going to help you build wealth is this side. So you are taking some of the income to fund this lifestyle, depreciating lifestyle liability. Then you are taking some of the income to fund something called appreciating cash flowing asset. And until you start doing that, that is when you can start building wealth. And this is the mistake a lot of people make, because they always assume that, I'm going to build wealth either ways. I'm making 400,000, I'm making 250,000. I tell you, I have been there, whereby I'm making so much income as a vice president of technology, but I tell you, I still did not gain financial freedom. Give me 1 second, please. I still did not gain financial freedom. Why? Because whenever you trade, whenever your income stops, when you stop working, what that means is that you are working, you're trading your time for money. Joseph, welcome in. Linda, welcome in. It means that you are trading your time for money. You are, and let's keep tapping out the live. Thank you all for tapping out the live, sharing out the live as well. Thank you for everyone tapping out the live. It means that you are working and you're trading your time for money, because if your income stops when you stop working, it means that, that's what it just basically means. You are trading your time for money. Now, for you to build wealth and gain financial freedom, you have to put something, your money needs to continue coming in, even though you are in your sleep, even though you are not working. There has to be your income still flowing in. That's when you know you gain financial freedom. A lot of us are just working for the bills, right? But just think about it. You don't do that job, but the bills are still paid. And that's how you build. That's when you know you have gained financial freedom. That's now how you know that, okay, you know what, I am building wealth. So do not confuse that your income with wealth, no matter how much you are earning, right? So how then? So do you now make money in your sleep? It's basically, it's not get rich quick scheme, it's not instant gratification. As a matter of fact, it is something called delayed gratification. What do I mean by this? So think about it. Think about it. There is somebody that is sorry, them being, yeah, just imagine there's somebody that is working, right, that is working and take some of his income, fund the lifestyle, and take majority of his income, 20%, 30%, or even 10% income, and saves it. But not just save, also invest it. When you do that, you realize that you're going to be building wealth, right? When you build that, so let's take two people, like scenario A, scenario B. Two people started working at the same time. Both of them are engineers. They make $200,000 a year, right? And each of them saves 10% of their income. That's $20,000. One person puts their money in savings. One person, or let's do three scenarios. Like one person, scenario A, the person takes the money and fund all the lifestyle. Scenario B, there was Mr. B on the other hand, takes his money and saves money diligently, puts it in the savings account. Then scenario C is another person, Mr. C, puts his money in investment, right? You'd realize that after like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you realize that one person is going to build wealth, right? And the other person is going to be struggling. Mr. B is going to be okay, is going to have his basic needs met, right? But he's not going to be financially free. And then Mr. A is TV. How are you doing? Make sure you tap out. Make sure you click on the subscribe button. A Town, the Vet Royal, the King, Ikran, and everyone, the T King, welcome in. You'd realize that Mr. A, on the other hand, or Mr. A is not going to have anything at all. And Mr. A will retire, and it will be like the story of a man that I saw on Instagram some days ago, whereby he retired after many years of working, was in the military for 9 years, worked in the postal services for another 29 years. So almost 30 years of his life, 40 years of his life working. But guess what? When he's retired since December, and guess what? Till today, all that he has gotten since December was a $400. His rent alone is $1,600. That's why, not that I'm just using this as a scenario, and it's reality, someone's life that we are even talking about. This really happened. Reset, thank you so much for the roses. This is somebody's life. This is something that happened real life. And thank you all for tapping out. Can we all tap out the life? Let's tap out the life. Thank you all for tapping out the life. Reset with Sammy, Nats, Charles, Leroy, Mr. Ray, Blessing National User. And let's also share with our friends and family. Let's share with our friends. And I think I would also use this time to also share as well, just so I can let everyone know that we are live here as well. And feel free to ask any question that you might have around investing. Any question you might have around that, you also share that as well. All right, almost there. Yes. And if you want to know how to share, just press my forehead on the screen, and you would see you would see the difference. You see your contacts coming in. That is set. And I'm just power sharing as well. If you can also share, that would just be amazing. And make sure you click on the follow button if you haven't done that. click on the follow button. Um, just want to make sure that we got everyone in here. And feel free to drop your questions. If you have any question at all, feel free to drop your question in the comment. What he needs me by All right. So I got that out of the way. So, so it's that triangle. Take your income, fund lifestyle, put some of the income for some of your expenses on your cash flow appreciating assets, and then because if you save it alone, you're not going to build wealth, unfortunately, because your interest rate right now is at 0.01%. But guess what? Inflation is at what? Inflation is at 4.2%. It means that you are getting 0.01 return on your money. And for perspective, that is $1 on a $10,000 every single year. So the fact that you put your money in the bank, you are actually losing money, right? So how then do you build wealth? You put it in something called investing. What are investments? Real estate, ETF, businesses. Those are the three major investments. How do I know? Because when they're checking, if you go online right now and you check, where does the multimillionaire, where do they put their money? The multimillionaire, where do they put their money? You can go on Google right now. It will tell you exactly where the multimillionaire put their money. All you have to do is to do the same thing, and you'll see that your finances or your wealth building journey is going to get faster. Right? Your wealth building journey becomes faster. So, and that's how you do it. That's how you start building wealth. So the first thing that you see on their list is cash and cash equivalent, right? And all the cash that they have in there is their emergency fund, right? For emergency, because it has to be liquid, it has to be available in case of an emergency. Number two, but they put it in a high yield savings account. So you want to do the same thing. Number two is you put your money in they put their money in ETFs. ETF is exchange traded funds. If you have any question about ETFs, right, it's a pool of stocks instead of you buying individual stocks, and it helps you to build wealth because it helps you to diversify your risk. So if you're a beginner investor or you are too afraid, you don't have the time or knowledge of investing, start with ETF because an S&P 500 has returned between 14 to 15% averagely for the past 10 years. That's what it has returned. So think about it, 0.01% versus 14 to 15% a year. It means that your $10,000, you will get at least another $10,000 on your money every single year, right? I mean, your money is going to double its value in 4 years, 9 months, or 2 days. That is less than 5 years. But when it comes to your money in the bank, you get your money doubles when you. Who cares to know how long is your money going to double? It's going to double in. It's going to double in. It's going to double in how many years? 7,200 years. So there's something called the rule of 72. If you want to know how long it takes your money to double, take number 72 divided by the rate of return, and then you'll be able to determine what the return, what your return on your investment, what it is, what the return on investment is, right? So your money was going to double 72. If your interest is 0.01, it's going to take 7,200 years. If it's 1%, it's going to take 72 years. If it's 10%, it's going to take 7,200 years. Nat, welcome in. Congratulations, clicking that follow button and joining the $1 Million League. And if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology, and I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. So if your goal is to gain financial freedom quicker, right, as quickly as 10 years or less, then you want to make sure you click on that follow button and join the community of millionaires, right? If that's your goal, or you want to be the first millionaire in your family, or you're already a millionaire, you want to become a multi-millionaire, but it starts with your income, and then you have to be very coachable. And I know a lot of time people were like, oh, you know what, it's not possible. Well, It's possible. People are doing it on a daily. It's a proven concept. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It is actually more of a moderate investor strategy rather than a high risk investor strategy. I am a moderate investor, right? So I just teach. It's almost like slow and steady, but this one is not slow and steady. It's like, a steady consistency rate of you building your wealth. And guess what? In 10 years, right? Delay the gratification for 5 years, and in 10 years, you find yourself in that $1 million status. Start with your income, right? And we're in the 21 days of money reset challenge, the mid-year money reset. And today it's all about that your loyalty to your customer. It's to your you being a loyal customer at times is crazy, right? Being a loyal customer, you are losing money, it's costing you money. And we're going to be talking about that. Let me just finish up on this topic of you building wealth. So, see somebody there. If your money is just seated in the bank, you're not going to grow your money. It's not going to happen. It's not, right? So, but with ETF, using the rule of 72, you leave it in the bank, 0.01%, it's going to take you 7,200 years to double your money. Just take 72 and divide it by the rate of return. You will find the difference right there. You'll find what is the rate. So if you get 10% return, it means that your money is going to double in 7 years, 2 months. If your return is like 14 to 15%, you are going to double your money in 4 years, 9 months, and 2 days. Just go and check it. You can use that calculator and check it. You would see the results right there. And that's why people, they will tell you that compound interest is they call it's the eighth wonder of the world. Because think about it, you have 100,000, and as a matter of fact, you're wondering, I don't have 100,000, but do you have $27 a day? If you have $27, if you can save $27 every single day, right, consistently, you save $27 every single day, you will find out you are going to get over, and you do that consistently for 10 years, you will realize that you get 100,000. That $100,000, if you put it in an S&P 500, right, consistently, you put it in an S&P 500, you would realize that your money will turn to 1.6 million. That's it, over a space of 20 years. If you put it in an S&P 500 and it has done what it's done in the past 10 years, which is 14.5, your money doubles every single 5 years. So your 100,000 becomes 200,000. Your 200,000 becomes 400,000. Remember, it's double. Double of 200 becomes 400,000. And then your 400,000 becomes 800,000. So in 20 years, your 100,000, right, or $27 a day that you did consistently for 10 years, you'd realize that you get 1.6 million. You get 1.6 million, and that's how you build wealth. And that's what a lot of people do not talk about, right? A lot of people do not talk about this, and they always, everybody, it's and that's why I say here we talk about delayed gratification. Delay the gratification so that you can start. If you delay the gratification a bit, save that $27. It might be your lunch money every single time, every month, right? It might be your lunch money, that you're putting aside, and you decide to inconvenience yourself and eat from home, which is not an inconvenience, right? Eat from home instead, and you save that $27 consistently, right? And that is how you see yourself, you get to that $1 million status. Otherwise, you can do the real estate route as well. That's another strategy whereby you save the first 10,000 in year one, because $27 for 1 year, that is $10,000. So if you are looking for ways to throw away $10,000 in a year, or to spend $10,000, just keep spending $27 every day, right? $27 in 365 days is $10,000, right? So, but then if you invest it right, you'll see that it can run into over $1 million. Okay, so but then every time we talk about saving, we've talked about increasing your income. But then one of the things that we always forget about is that it takes two to tango. All right. And what do I mean by that? If your income, it takes your income and your expense right? The difference between your income and expenses, and then what you now do with that difference is what really determines if you are going to build wealth or not. So if you take your income, first of all, if your expenses is very high, right? If your expenses is very high, then you're not going to build, it's going to be a struggle for you to build wealth. Because if your income is here and your lifestyle expenses is here, you have nothing less to save or invest. So you need to ensure that you're not just, you need to ensure that you are, yeah, you need to, and thank you all for tapping out the live. Can we all tap out the live? Nats, Maz, Leroy, Ma. Yeah, can we all keep tapping out the live? The event row, yeah, thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's tap out the live. Let's tap out the live. That's the only language that the algorithm understand. And if you have been here for more than a minute, right? Let's know that you're not a BOT. Let me know where you're connecting from. Put it in the comment section. Let me know where you're connecting from. And make sure you also click on the follow button and join the community of millionaires. And thanks to everyone that already clicked on that follow button. So if you haven't, make sure you do that. All right. So now let's now talk about the other angle. We talked about the income, right? How do you increase your income? We've talked about that. You can take some certification. You don't have to go back to college. Take some certifications and all of that. The other way that you can go about it is in reduce Judge Bagel welcoming, right? The other thing that you can do is reduce. Most importantly, is also keep your expense low, right? Because I talk about this every time. It's also keeping your expense low. If you do not keep your expense low and your expense is catching up, royal blessing, welcome in. If you're just, your income is high and your expense is catching up, lifestyle inflation is taking over, you realize that you're not going to be building wealth, right? So how then, part of the ways that you can reduce your expense, because I get that question every time, how do I reduce my expense? So one of the tasks that I'm going to be talking about today will be stop being a loyal customer. And this is not being cheap. This is not being cheap. Why are you paying $200 for something that is $150? Why? Right, because you might say, it's just $50. But guess what? $50 here, another $20 there, $100 there. Before you know it, it becomes like it becomes $1,000. And I'll tell you my own story, right? I have somebody that comes to clean. I mean, yeah, it's very convenient, but when somebody comes to clean like every 2 weeks, I have somebody that comes to clean. I had somebody that cuts the yard, and of course I have a small yard. I had somebody that comes to take care of the pool, right? When I calculated all of that, aside from every other thing, that one was already running to $1,000. And then I was like, okay, for like 2 months or 3 months, I said, you know what? You see this pool, I'm going to take care of it. I'll buy the chemical, understand what it is. That was like almost $300 back in my pocket. I said, okay, the cleaner, instead of you coming every 2 weeks, come every month, right? Come every month, we'll take care of it, within that month. And that saved me another $300 there, right? And then the yard, I realized that every single morning I go on a walk as part of my exercise. I go for at least every day. Gizu, welcome in. Every day I go on a walk for at least 1 hour. Right, if the day I go 1 hour walk, right, which is part of my my health wealth, right? So, and so I realized that, okay, you know what? Someday I will be like me. Some days I realized that, okay, you know what? I can take 1 day every 3 weeks to mow the lawn. I have everything that I can use to mow the lawn. So instead of me walking that day, I can mow the lawn because the pool already took half of my yard at the back. So the yard is pretty small at the back right now. So I said, okay, you know what? That was another that's like $50. That's like $100. So guess what? That is already $700. Giza, welcome in. Thank you all for tapping out the live. And how are you all doing today? Right? We are on day 12. Can you imagine, of the 21 days neediest challenge? So, and guess what? That's how I reduce some of my bills. Right? because it's not about totally cutting some things off. In this case, it's not like I never stopped the cleaning. I still had the cleaner coming, but the only thing is that I reduced the frequency. Why do I have to pay $500 when I can handle it for whatever, right? Half of the time it's not like it's dirty, and I have the other $250 in my pocket, right? It takes literally the pool guys it literally takes them 5 minutes in a week for them to take care of the pool. Why can I not just take care of it, right? And that's another money in my pocket. Now the other part of it is that your phone bill. I literally negotiated my phone bill and reduced it by half the price, 50% of the price. Reduced it. That was another $100 back in our pocket. Subscriptions. Those are other money that that are leaving your pocket that you don't know, directly or indirectly. Because a lot of times you were like, you know what? When I say investing, invest your money, investing your money. And you'll be like, you know what? Some people would say, you know what, Dr. Lina, I don't even have the money. I'm still, Mike Tafia, how are you? Good afternoon, money. Yeah, how are you? Yes, I love that. Yeah, money, right? Yeah, I think it's more of financial freedom. Mike, welcome in. Make sure you click on that follow button for everyone that's been here. Make sure you click on that follow button and let's do the wealth building thing together. Let's do the wealth building thing together. All right. All right, so and let's keep tapping out. Yay! And you just click on the follow button. Awesome. So the thing about it is that, and that's why today is very important, right? Again, we cannot be saying increase your income. We cannot be saying invest. We cannot be saying put money in businesses, ETF, without also giving you some guidance on to reduce the other side of the fraction. It's a fraction is income minus expense will give you what is going to give you what you have left to help you build wealth. Income, which is your salary, your paycheck, anything, right? Income minus your expenses, right? Now we've talked about how to increase your income, right? Now today we are talking about how do you reduce your expenses, right? So why are you paying $200 when you can pay $150 for that item? And you're like, okay, well, it's just so today you're going to pick up your phone and you're going to call that provider. I know, let the providers not like me. I changed from insurance, I've changed from Progressive to Allstate. See what I did. I moved from Geico and I changed, this is insurance, moved from Geico and I moved from Geico to I moved from Geico to Progressive, right? After staying for like 3 years. Guess what? I reduced my insurance by $200 every month. And then after certain years again, I moved from Progressive, right? And I moved to, I think we are in Allstate or State Farm or something, right? Right now, guess what? I still save an additional maybe 300. Like, those are the things, like in all those little things that you'll be like, oh, you know what? Guess what? That $300 that I'm saving or $200 that I'm saving by the month, where does it go? It goes into my Roth IRA. It goes into my investment. It goes into my brokerage account, which helps me to grow my. So you can either be giving it to being loyal to your provider, your service provider, or become a PRS, a prostitute, yeah, and just move from one place to the other. Trust me, nobody cares about Melshop. Welcome in, right? Nobody really cares about you. They only care about, forget about loyalty. Nobody cares about it the same way your employer doesn't care. They really do. You are just a number to anybody. You are just a number to them. So what do, right? Basically ensure that you negotiate. Pick up your phone and discuss with them that, okay, you know what? Is there a way you can reduce this bill? And you'll be so surprised that even the millionaires, they get to do this. And thank you all for tapping out the live. If you have just been here, yeah, let's tap out the live. Let's get it to 5,000 taps. That would be absolutely amazing. And we are on the day 12 of the 21 days of mid-year money reset. But today is also on Fridays. We get to do live Q&A. So if you had any specific question, either on investing, on real estate, this is free consultation, right? It takes you, if you go, how much it costs to actually do my one-on-one one-on-one consultation, but this is like, free consultation for you. So if you have any question when it comes to real estate, feel free to, you see the plus sign that we have right here, right here. Just click on it and come up, or you can leave your question in the comment section, right? And thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's keep tapping out the live so that we can, let's keep tapping out the live. Thanks for everyone that started, and also share the live as well. Let's get it to 5,000. Can we all get it to 5,000? And if you're seated here, you're just meeting me. I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology, and I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. So if your goal is to get to that $1 million status, if your goal is to get to gain financial freedom, you are in the right place. We use the wealth blueprint, the exact blueprint that the millionaire uses. So, which is real estate, ETF, businesses. Those are the things that we use right here. So let's thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's get it to 5,000. Really, really appreciate you. So thank you so much. Mike, thank you so much for tapping out the live. Mail shop, welcome in. And let's also power share. Sharing is caring, right? Press my forehead on the screen, right? Then you see your contact and then you share with them. Let them come and learn a few things, in these 21 days. We're on a 12 days, day 12 on the 21 days of mid-year money reset. And every day is to take us a step closer to our wealth building goal, right? Our financial freedom goal. Financial freedom is ability to live life at your own term. Work because you want to work, not because you have to work to pay bills. Okay, let's see. Stacy, are you requesting? Are you asking for? Do you have a question? Put it in the comment. If you have a question, then I'll bring you up. Okay, okay, Stacy. Do you have a question? All right, because I saw you send a request in, right? So feel free to ask your question, and thank you all for tapping out the live. So the thing is, I tell you something that one of the major mistake people make is staying with one employer for so long, right? Yes, that's against what everybody have told you, right? That, what, be loyal. But guess what? It's stealing money away from you, because even if you don't leave the employer, you can negotiate with your employer, and that's how you increase your income. That's one side of the story. The other side of the story is your expense. When you stay with a particular provider, right, from time to time, negotiate with them. And guess what? Other providers also want to get the business from you. And as a matter of fact, because they want to get a business for you, they give you at a discount. So how many times have you moved from one, one power company to another, right? And you get a reduction, you see that your bill reduces. Put in the comment section. Put one in the comment section. You move from one provider, especially power power companies like electricity. You realize that your money, when you discuss with them, you move from one place to the other. Is it that your existing power company reduces your price, or or they give you a very special deal, or you move to another one and they want to get your business? Put one. Gizu, Nats, Stacy, Maz, Akon, Leroy. Whenever you move from one provider to the other, and I hope that you know that when you engage, when you tap out the live, you also get rewarded from TikTok. I hope we know that. So let's always engage, right? It's always beautiful when we engage as well. It's always very beautiful. Anyone? Okay. So companies reward new customers, though. I hope companies reward new customer. Loyal customer often pay higher prices than the existing customers. Than newcomer. It never changed. Okay. All right. I think you need to try another one, right? How many did you try with? Because for me, it even happened to us this year. we have our energy company was we were having a we said, okay, I was going to leave. I do this with a lot of time with the energy companies, phone bills, energy company phone bills and insurance, right? They would, if I'm moving, is it I get a better deal to where I'm going, or a better deal, negotiate with the existing one and get to reduce under welcome in, right? But very good. I mean, maybe you need to check another one. But in my own case, right, I was able to reduce my energy bill from during summer. It goes up to like 400, right, dollars. My energy, my power, my light, electricity, right? I pay close to like $400, sometimes even $450 a month. So during summer, because I'm in Texas, so it's very crazy. But this year, at the beginning of this year, I was able to negotiate whereby I have a flat fee of $250. So I'm using energy. I use it, I don't use it. It's flat fee. Savannah, welcome in. Flat fee of $250 is what I pay for my energy, for my electricity. So it's something you just, if yours is not going to change, right? Always try to just go try another provider, right? Try another okay, we try from now on. Yes, because guess what? You might think it's $50, but guess what? $50 times 12, right? That is $600 in a year. That's $600. Do it in three places, like three bills, or even get 1,000. You realize, you see the difference. Thank you so much for engaging, Gizu. Really appreciate that, and everyone thank you all for tapping out the live. Welcome in, everyone. So your insurance, your internet, like these are the common ones that I negotiate. Your insurance, your internet, your phone plans, your subscriptions, all of that, even with my car. And this is not being me cheap, even with my what's it called, car wash. I tell them, because those people, $45, I'll tell them, okay, what if is this? What if I pay 6 months? What if I do this? And then they reduce it to $25. That's another $15 in my pocket. By the time you bring it together, and if I feel Dr. Lina is not cheap, but guess what? It's free money for me. I use it, I repurpose the money, I put it towards something else. I put it towards investing. So because especially those things that are subscriptions, right? You're paying it's okay if it's one time, but if it's every single month, it adds up over the years. It adds up. So today is stop paying the loyalty taxes. All those, I love this company, I've been with them 15 years. Stop paying those taxes, right? Stop paying those taxes. And you'll be so surprised that the rich also negotiate. Poor people pay the sticker price, right? And let me tell you the reason why I know that. The rich also, they negotiate. I know this is that you see your bank, your Chase, I always say that you get 0.01%. But with Chase, what if I tell you that with Chase, for the past 5 or 6 years, with Chase, I've been getting nothing less than 2%, 2.5%, 3% return on my on my account. It's not about being cheap, but thank you so much, Gizu. That's the word I'm looking for. That's being smart. See, the thing about it is that you'll be so surprised. And guess what? That's because I told them that, you know what, guys, I'm taking my business from you guys. I'm moving to a capital one that will give me 3.3% I interest yield, the savings account, and whatever. And guess what? They gave me the high yield savings account within Chase. Have you heard that before? They gave me the product, but they would not, trust me, they would not give to a whole lot of people, right? They will not give to a lot of people, and trust me, that's why the wealthy get wealthier, because they will go off the wealthy, and that's why I know they negotiate. The rich negotiate. So don't think it's about you being smart. The poor people are the one that are like, you know what? I want to pay the sticker price. I don't want to negotiate. I don't want to do this. guess what? The wealthy, they negotiate. The rich negotiate, right? They will negotiate insurance, they will negotiate cable, they will negotiate real estate. I always say that real estate, whenever I'm buying real estate, I don't buy from the stock, from the MLS, like where they sell real estate, right? I buy off market deals. This off market, I don't buy any property that is not that's more than 80% of the market value. So it means that I'm already having 20% at least upfront in equity. So those are, I mean, I know that this is different from bills, but those are like really the thing, right? Cable, real estate, salaries. They negotiated your salary with you, right? The rich negotiates. They negotiated your salary. You requested that, oh, you know what, I want 150,000. But what did they do? They said, oh, sorry, the best we can offer is 135,000. They negotiate. They could as well just say, okay, because, because I'm a Meta, I have this money, or because I am American International Group, right? We can pay you. I'm one big these. I am Memorial Hammond, right? I can pay anything. No, they negotiate. So why are you not negotiating? You're not even richer than the wealthy, right? You're not richer than the 1%. So if those people are negotiating, why can't you negotiate? All right? Negotiate. At least ask. The best thing, the worst they can say is that they will not reduce it. But if you don't ask, because I even say that your credit card, I hope you know that you can negotiate your interest rates. You can actually call them and say, you know what? My job is actually shaking right now. And because of that, I am asking, are you able to reduce my whatever? And I hope if you know that even if you miss your bill or something for it or whatever, and they put a fee on it, you know that you can actually call them and say that, can you reduce this fee? 9 out of 10 times, if you have never done that in a year, they have the window of at least 1 to 2 times where you can actually miss something like that and they will still waive the fee. All those fees that you're paying, take that money and use it for investment. Welcome in, everyone. Let's keep tapping out the life. It's all about investing. It's all about, the other fraction or the other side of the coin, income, expense. It gives you the money that you're going to be available for you to invest. So today we are focusing on this side of the equation. I always focus on the income. How do you increase your income? But then how can we talk about increased income when we are not also talking about how to lower your expenses? And you'll be so surprised that this lifestyle inflation, these expenses is the biggest thing that actually, holding people back from building wealth, right? So negotiate that bill. All right? Your bills got more expensive. The other thing is that your bill got more expensive, but did your salary? So you probably saw that, some of maybe your utilities have gone up, your water has gone up, your electricity, they said the kilowatt or whatever, the price per kilowatt has gone up, the gas went up. But guess what? Did your income go up? The best you could have got as a top performer is a 3% increment, except you change your job, you move from one place to the other. That's the only time. Stacy, I'll accept you. It seems that you have a question, but I did accept you. If you have a question, I already invited you over. Yeah. And if you have been sitting here for more than a minute, make sure you click on the follow button and join the $1 Million League. And thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's tap out the live. Let's tap out the live. And share out the live as well. All right. So your bills got more expensive, but did your salary go up? So because your salary did not go up, always think about it. What should you do differently then? Right? Inflation has been giving everyone a pay cut. Know that. Lily Roy just joined the $1 Million League. Congratulations to that. Inflation has been giving everyone a pay cut. Inflation is at 4.2%. As of a month ago, it was 3.3%. So it means that that money that you earned, right, is reduced in value by at least 4.2%. So inflation is already giving every one of us a pay cut. And then the bills are going up. So the least that you don't have control over inflation. You don't. But at least you have a control over that bill to see, can you negotiate? Can you pivot from one place to the other? But most people never fight back. People are struggling, but people are not fighting back. So lower your monthly expenses, okay? Lower your monthly expenses. And that's why today's challenge is for you to stop, to stop being loyal to your provider. It's costing you money, right? It's not, and know that this is not about you being cheap. So take a bill today. Take a bill today and review that bill. Call the provider and negotiate with them. See if they're going to budge. And then check with do comparison, right? Do comparison when it comes to insurance, your phone bill, your electricity, all of those bills. Just look at it and see how much you can reduce. But when you reduce that money, take that money and put it towards investing. All right? So that's it. That's it today for today's challenge. So good to have each and every one of us in here today. If you have any question, I'll still be here for another 4 minutes. I'll be here for another 4 minutes. Thank you for everyone that clicked on the follow button. And if you have any question at all when it comes to investing, the Veteria, thank you so much for the taps. Let's keep tapping. Any question at all, maybe on real estate or maybe on the 21 days money reset, or any questions you may have at all. All right. Any question? Okay, I guess we'll wrap up the live here. Thank you all, everyone today, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a great day. Yeah, I'll just wait for a few minutes, and if anybody has any further question, any question on investing, any question on real estate, ETF, or the 21 days of money reset that we have going on, feel free to ask your question right now. Either debt payoff, because we've also talked about that. As a matter of fact, what are the things that we talked about? Let me see. So on the page, we've had day one is about knowing your net worth. Day two was about reviewing your expenses. Yeah. So we've had that. We've had you having your money to work for you. How to check, making sure you check your credit, and also building your credit. We talked about that. How to double your money. We've talked about that. Your emergency funds, how to start investing, right? These are things, stop that money leak. Where did my money go? Right? Review your spending. Those are each of the days that we've had. So if you missed any of the days, you'll find it on the page. We talked about money skills. How do you increase your income? We talked about that. And today is about lowering your expenses. How do you lower a bill? That's what we're talking about today. The rich by assets, right? Assets, how to build assets, because it's two sides: income, expenses, right? We talked about how to reduce your bill today, but then your income is important. The difference between that income and your expense, right? income minus expense will give you your result, right? Because when you have that your expense, if once that money, once you know the difference between the two, the excess money is what you can use to invest. Okay, the excess money is what you can invest. So, but if you don't have excess, then there's nothing to invest. All right, and it's we'll give you 1 more minute. If anybody has any other question, feel free to ask. Now is your time to ask your questions. And congratulations to everyone that joined, that click on the follow button today. Congratulations to you. Awesome, awesome. Well, happy Friday. Happy Friday to each and every one of us. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.